Hi guys, it's Anne. Thank you for joining me. Well, I mean, what do we even say about these energies? Can you feel the massive amounts of change that is happening right now in your own life, in yourself, even from day to day? We are going through massive shifts and changes every single day. I mean, it seems as if we're floating through some of these days, even though some of them are really tough to get through as we try and embody this new way of being, these new energies, these new frequencies, which, by the way, have been extremely wild lately, taking us into all sorts of depths of ourselves, of experiences, of our physicality, of understanding and learning more, and of even coming to a place of just plain, I don't know what to even think and do next. So just the extremes are happening for a lot of people. I mean, we know, those of us who are on this special journey, which, you know, we are, as light workers, most of us are called to do this work in some frame, form, or fashion. And we know that we see things a little bit different than most people. We see things a lot different than most people, and we can be feeling lately very ostracized from those around us as we really feel these extremes in poles, in perspectives happening to an extreme degree. And boy, I mean, this is just a wild journey. We are on this path. We know that we are growing so quickly. We're changing day to day. We are learning from these moments of uncertainty, and we're learning from these moments of when these energies are really affecting us. We're learning how to really trust our own sense of self, our own intuition, what we are personally feeling we need to do to deal with this stuff. And I think that is the major lesson that is being taught here, is really trusting your own instincts, your own intuition. And right now, to back away, to go no contact with technology and media, to give ourselves a break. It is not natural to be processing so much stimulation and information, so much volatile chaos information. We were not meant to hold the weight of the world on our shoulders. Seriously, I mean, we're talking here about some huge challenges. Yes, we are, in sense, in psychological warfare. There is no other way to explain it. You know, the reason I know this is because I had involvement with a narcissistic individual, a sociopathic individual, and I learned a lot from that experience. This person really tried to kill me, and this was primarily through psychological brainwashing, gaslighting, manipulation, and they are very, very good at what they do. And they don't care. They really do not have the ability to have empathy and compassion, although on the surface it looks like they really, really do. And there are some very strong connections that I'm feeling here from that experience that I was able to remove myself from, to get out of, to really examine what that experience has and was teaching me. Certainly it took me a very long time to work through the trauma of being so entangled with this type of controlling energy that I did not. I'm a fairly intelligent person, and I did not did not want to see what was actually happening. So we can say that there are a lot of wolves being pulled over people's eyes. A lot of people are coming online through some of these strong energies. They're starting to really wake up to relationships and energies in their own lives. They're really starting to see where they may have believed and trusted in something that was a false narrative, that was based on deception, lies, and manipulation. So this is part of, I think, what we are experiencing, and the only way out of an environment that you feel is being controlled by someone else, where you're not feeling that you have the ability to make choices and decisions on your own. It's necessary to step way out of the picture and put up some very strong boundaries until you find your own voice and your own source of knowledge and wisdom that comes from within. This is really important. I mean, part and parcel with that, of course, is the release of the trauma, of the grief, of the shame. And this is really hard work, folks, to really face all of those things that you didn't see at the time. And this is where this process can really, really be difficult and challenging. But we work through it. We keep going. We recognize there's others, all of us. The great people that I connect with, thank you so much. You're all amazing, doing amazing work. But this is part of a bigger, much bigger energy going on here. So there's reasons why so many of us are seeing through these relationships that were brought into our lives. I'm not going to say that we asked for, that were brought into our lives. In a lot of cases is because we have a very high degree of strength and of energy. So it's time to call your power back now and use it for your own purposes. So this is collectively what is happening. Of course, there is a lot of confusion, of chaos, of up and down, and the energies are showing us that. And what we can do, what we are trying to do, what we are moving to, what we have put so much work and energy into, is remaining in our conscious, remaining conscious about where we are getting our energies from. And our energies come from within ourselves. Our energies are channeled through a higher unseen source. And when we have too much confusion, when we have too much stimulation, when we have too much information coming at us, it starts to really block out this ability to tap into this very quiet, very slow, very simple energy. When we quiet down the inner voice, when we quiet down all of the things coming at us, we start to hear more of it. And this is practice to learn how to hear it and to learn how to pay attention to it, because we are and have been trained and programmed in our society to not trust ourselves, and everybody else has the answers. And that is, in fact, the complete opposite of what we are truly, really all about. So there are so many complexities to this energy right now. There is no simple answer, but it does require us to kind of flow through some of this stuff, because there are times when we are processing a lot, understanding a lot. There are times when we are more mellow and not really understanding any of it and question, what do we even really know? And it flows through all of these different aspects of self. And right now there's a lot of people finding themselves. You know, this sounds like a an old school thing, but truly that is part of this self-actualization process. So who am I? What is my role here? What is this really all about? And why is this happening to the world? Some people can see through this energy. Some people can see what is actually behind the scenes. Others, not so much, because they are still very unconscious about their own energies, unable to really address it. So this is my perspective on this. So those of us that have dealt with some very dark, might say evil energies, I mean, you know, some of these people, they really will do anything to stay in control. Literally anything. As long as they have control, they will say anything and they will do anything to remain in control of you. And I'm saying this from experience. So there are people, and hey, I was naive. I was a very naive individual as a young person. I did not see people. I only ever saw the good in people. I never saw the darkness in people until I went through a series of extremely traumatic events and experienced some of this for myself personally. And I guess this experience was meant to wake me up to the reality that there does indeed live people with ulterior, question the term people, with ulterior motives that are not based on kindness, goodness, empathy, and compassion. Although they will make you believe that they are. So, you know, what can I say? I think that a major shift that's happening for me personally is this movement out of, because I've been working on self-healing, I want to clarify, I've been working on self-healing for a number of years. I have started to really learn about how to work through when it does reoccur, to work through, and I've trained myself. I have some techniques that I've used to really move out of that energy. So I've been self-healing for a number of years, and I think now what I'm working on and what many of us are moving towards is this new beginning. So creating a new foundation for our being, for humans to evolve in a different direction, because we can see that the past direction obviously has not been working. And this is becoming truer and truer as we go along here. So big message coming through is movement into this new direction. And this requires us again to work through. So when we have worked through a lot of our own healing journey, when we have learned about our own energies, when we really have come into our authentic selves, we start to move away from this healing aspect, and the real drive now becomes moving into creation in this newfound perspective. Now, this is where the power lies. So yes, we have to recognize where we were holding on to those old energies, those densities in our body, to go through tremendous amount of release. But the energies then are open to this creation mode. Now, this is a whole other ball of wax, because there has been an extreme amount of programming around our thinking being very common, similar, all the same as everybody else. So you are the same as your neighbor and you think the same, and you know, you're accepted in our little version of society. And we know that is the farthest thing from the truth. You know, as an astrologist, every single one of us has different energy profiles. We are all extremely unique in how we express our energies, and it is an individual journey of mass proportions here, still collectively combined, but the power within each of us to really tap into our key strengths is where the fun lies. Once we move past the restrictive programs that we had worked through in the phase one of this, now we can really open up to the true capabilities. And we're talking here quantum leaps forward. So when we are thinking outside of the box, we're like literally thinking here, the box doesn't even exist. It's just an illusion that's manifested to keep us within a structured time frame, within a structured way of thinking and doing. And in reality, that is the farthest thing from the truth. We are capable of conceiving so much from a creative perspective when we really allow ourselves to tap into that expressive voice of ourselves that is so far removed from what we have ever seen before. And herein lies, I believe, the key to moving forward. It is this really allowing this true expression of individuality and self, where the big ideas for what is going to be moving us forward in the future lies. And this is where everything, literally everything, changes. So this is also why this can be felt as a very challenging exercise, especially right now, because once we really begin to feel, to create, to really push past those boundaries of limitedness, once we really see the pure potential of what we are capable of creating and manifesting, then we really have taken back our power. So there are going to be roadblocks put up that aren't going to really support that happening. And this is something, as an individual, nobody else has that control over. So that is where, as more and more of us continue to put our energy into that self-expression that is not going to be understood. And this is why a lot of us, people who watch me, we're a soul group. We're a group of people who know that we're different, that know that we have a mission here that a lot of people, even in our lives, don't understand. But we continue anyway. This is because we're pushing past boundaries. We are seeing beyond what we were taught to believe is our only limited capability. So we're starting to push past that now into the greater application of some of these skills and abilities and technologies and whatever else is you can possibly imagine. So I encourage you to continue to evolve yourself creatively and look at things from a very different perspective. And I think that's just a fun exercise all on its own. Why are things done the way things are done? So anyway, this is sort of my highlights of what I've been experiencing, the energies I've been experiencing over the past couple of weeks. Really, it's just been a wild, fun ride, trying to balance the energies and, my family life, keeping myself grounded. So I'm not focused on only just one thing. I'm trying to really maintain a good balance between many different aspects of my life. So, oh my goodness, guys, you are the best. Thank you for all of you who watch and follow and support me. I have been blessed with meeting some amazing people through my readings, and it's just incredible how much good energy is out there right across the globe. So if you are interested, you can check me out at AnnTaylorKing.com. Thanks, guys. Bye.